whenever people want to fight Jay-Z doesn't make luxury rap, I like the first song I think of is that. I'm like, how dare you?
What song is that?
He doesn't though.
No, but that song is absolutely luxury. I think because Rick Ross makes the absolute
That,
top tier
top tier,
luxury
yeah.
rap
That is
that
vain.
like
That
the
is
other
bad.
luxury rap is not seen. Someone once said like Rick Ross makes music that makes you feel rich, but Jay-Z makes music that makes you
feel
want
poor.
want to be rich.
Oh, okay.
Like, and that's like the difference in the luxury rap type thing. But
No.
at no point.
One makes you feel you want to be rich. One makes you feel you are poor.
No,
Yeah, with
because
this-
Rick Ross
yeah.
makes you feel
You know what I'm saying?
rich. Like, when a
It's
Rick
like-
Ross song
it's like
plays,
you're
no
talking
one
down
is
on
poor
me,
in
bro.
the section
It's like
during
you're talking-
that moment.
yeah,
For
it's
those
like-
5
it's like
minutes,
you're talking
everyone
down
is
on me,
living
bro.
their best life, okay?
Yeah.
Like, in that moment, everyone is living their best life. Whereas Jay-Z is listing absolutely everything that he does and absolutely everything that you are not.
You feel broke.
So you feel so broke.
In fact, Ross living the way he curates his lifestyle, like with his big house and stuff.
But it makes you feel like you're a part
and
of
he's not
it.
even top 10 richest rappers. But it makes
Bruh.
he
Not even by a long
not
shot.
even by a long shot. But he makes it look his content, you will think this guy is balling. He's actually never been in the top rich list, from what I can remember.
Every time I hear that song, it's just Monaco, south of France,
Rich nigga shit.
like luxury, pure luxury. Black people having a fun time in cocktail dresses and playing blackjack.
No, bo. Ngiyaqala ntate.
Can we get it?
Let's get it.
In fact, we've already gotten it.
Yeah. Maka in the intro.
Yeah.
How you white.
I'll keep that section to show that women can be interested in things.
Yeah. We are redeeming ourselves.
Oh my God.
What up, the Dojo podcast? We're back again, season 14, episode 3.
Three.
Right?
Three.
Des is not here again.
Again.
Adulting, right?
Adulting.
Yeah. Hey.
Mbali is also not here.
Yes, Mbali's not here. She's on vacation.
She is on vacation.
Solocation.
Solocation.
Very sad.
Where the
me.
pictures look like there's company.
Who took that picture?
Firstly, self-time exists. Secondly, people are really nice outside, okay?
That's cool.
on the Joey podcast, they have Melissa Ford now as part of the crew.
Yes.
So she went on vacation, and she had a drone shot,
Uh-huh.
right? That showed her in the pool, the whole content thing. So almost who was flying the drone?
Who was flying the
Because
drone?
we did not see it.
Yes.
And again, the whole
Yes.
Who was flying the drone, Melissa?
Solocation.
But those are dope, man.
Yeah, those are dope.
I haven't
like
really
your
had
favorite.
one. I've had something close to it.
Yep.
It's cool.
I think it's very admirable, and I would say I encourage people to have the ability to do things by themselves. Even if it's going out to eat, like there are people who just don't do things by themselves.
They're just difficult things to justify when you're in a relationship.
Yeah.
Knowing
I've
never actually even
knowing
had
what
to
them
think
other
about
people
that.
are like. But even niggas would have a problem with that,
Yeah,
actually. Let me not
yeah,
put it on,
yeah.
on the
Yes,
ladies. Yeah.
absolutely.
It's tricky to navigate if you are in a relationship.
In a relationship. Ne?
This is why I date
Because
long
how
distance.
do you justify it?
Yeah.
This is
What's
why
a
I date
Maulimu? Why?
because I don't have to justify that.
I mean,
I'm going out to go eat.
I've got interests out of you. I miss myself, man.
Yeah.
So
You have to, it's delicate. I'm hoping to go on one 3 years from now, so I'm going to start campaigning.
start your campaigning.
Not the presidential campaign for a solo location.
I need to start campaigning because I really want to do it by myself.
Where would you go?
I want to tour the southern states
Okay.
during the World Cup,
Okay.
but I'm not going anywhere near.
A stadium.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not there for it.
Yeah.
But
in
I'm
and
hoping
around.
to hop on, to piggyback on whatever,
Major activities happening.
whichever crew will be planning to
Yeah.
go there, and then maybe I'll meet them in one of the cities
Okay.
but I'd like to do the whole southern thing. The keep
guys,
like Mascopas.
I remember I edited to so and I do nothing mona.
Oh, don't we have?
Lema shwam shwam.
We had niggas that were selling them near my place. And them niggas, hey, what's on to Zamzans? Majitapa isang maskopas, le mazimba, lidi kuku, lidi chapisi, lidi smoothies got killed in a drive-by shooting right there where they sell.
Are we sure that
By
that's
who?
all they were selling?
Oh, they were selling weed too.
There you go. That's why they got killed.
The impaired supply.
I used to get ganja from them niggas now and then.
You could have cut out all the other shit.
But bruh, everybody sells weed, bro. How could it get to that point? And usually, them niggas that sell the dick and are small time fucking dealers, bro.
Yeah. They were trespassing on someone else's territory.
Yeah, it was so sad. It's so sad. It's always sad when somebody that you've spoken to, had conversations with, just like
all of a sudden is off.
Vanishes off the face of the earth. It's weird. But anyways, Dintang, we got Claudia. Or who do you want us to call you, Noma Swazi or Claudia?
What's your preferred name?
My preferred name.
What do you introduce yourself as?
Typically if I meet people off Twitter, it's Claudia.
Yeah.
Then if it's people from Twitter, it's Noma Swazi. But then eventually the Claudia name seeps into everything.
Why the difference?
Initially it was just because I didn't want my employers finding my personal Twitter.
Okay.
So I do have two Twitter accounts. I do have the Claudia one, which is very bare, and then I have Noma Swazi.
Then you have the head hanging off the edge of the bed Twitter.
I'm just trying to give advice. I don't know why you're demonizing
We are
me
catching
for,
all
like,
the buzz. Don't worry. We may not
good
participate,
advice.
but we're catching them all the buzz.
Yeah, but like now it really doesn't matter. It's more so for I guess like right now because I've started my business.
Sure.
Claudia is going to be that Twitter account now is going to be my corporate account. And then Noma I guess is going to be like my social account. Just generally.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
You are not a stranger to the pod.
Not at all.
We've had you here before.
This is your third time.
It's
or
my
fourth?
third time.
Third, ne?
And like funny enough, every single time I come to this pod, every single time, like the past 2 times, when I leave, I have been dumped.
Yeah, but two.
Let's go blame my podcast for Madima Bialone.
Because once is fine. But it happening twice?
Yeah.
Nah, there's a pattern.
Well, the first time I can understand because it sounded like you were waiting for your man and you stood him up. When you supposed to be going out with him.
No, that's not what happened. That's not what
But
happened.
that was also true. You had to meet up with him.
No, that's the thing about it.
And he was blowing up your phone the entire recording.
He was.
Blowing up my. Okay, no. So this is what happened, right? So the person I was dating, at that time, I was working seasonally, right? Because I was still like a researcher. So you work per project. So there was no project that was happening at that point in time. So I was not working, right? And then I meet this guy. This guy is like he's a lawyer. He's also like started practicing. So he's still in the process of getting the admin of his life sorted. But like he's good. He's got money, but he just doesn't have his own place yet. Things like that, you know? But he's good. So what we do is that like on weekends, we'd like hook up at Sandton. So like we'd spend the whole weekend in Sandton and just live a Sandton, which ironically was the place where the Dojo was recording.
Meaning
at that time.
you guys would book.
Yeah. So we'd booked the hotel literally, weirdly enough, right across the street from where you guys were recording.
Yeah, I see that hotel.
So that weekend, it was supposed to be different. We were only supposed to see each other on the Friday, and then on Saturday, we go our separate ways.
Okay.
Because I have to do the Dojo recording, right? So I had sent him the videos of like what the pot is like beforehand and everything. That man,
You're campaigning.
in true, no. I just to let him know, like, this is what I'm doing, what. In true nigga fashion, he didn't care, so he didn't look. He was just like, do whatever. And then on the Friday when we see each other, something happened at the bank. I don't know. So he ended up withdrawing more money than what he was initially supposed to do. And so he ended up booking for the whole weekend versus just the Friday.
Okay.
So it was already determined that, listen, we're going to go our separate ways for like a few hours. I will see you later.
Okay.
After the podcast recording. And then he was fine. He was fine with, I did not want him at the recording because he's a lawyer with a big mouth and like lots of opinions, and that was not about him. Right? So I did not want him at the recording. I was like, it's fine, go do your own thing. Let me go do my own thing. Have a hobby, you know. So then halfway through the pod, when we take our break, like I open up my phone because obviously it was off and put to the side. And I open up my messages and it's like a descent into madness. I had like 13, maybe 20 messages. I don't know. But it starts off cute enough. Hey, baby, I hope everything is going well. I miss you. Na, 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 na. I want you. Come back. When are you going to be free? And then he got angry. Like,
Until it said.
So then that's when he decides.
The stock started plummeting.
The market was crashing.
So then at that point, that's when he decides to
Sounds like a controlling person.
So that's when he decides to go through and look at
what this pod is
the
about.
links that I sent.
Yeah, maybe it's time.
It did not help my case at all.
Why?
Because if you check the links, especially at that time, you're seeing that like the episodes are super long, right?
Oh.
But all he saw was niggas.
You with them niggas.
It's a bunch of niggas.
It's a bunch of niggas.
So from there, then it was, what are you? Are you stalk? What? Like when I say the messages were like a descent.
What are you stalk?
So I leave. If you guys remember, I'm like, hey guys, I'll be back. Let me go check on him.
Yeah.
So I leave my bag where we're recording because it's literally just across the street. I cross the street. I go into the hotel. When I get to the hotel, this man is packing his bags. Yeah. He is leaving. I'm like, what the hell is going on? He's like, no, what is this? What are you doing? No. I'm like, calm down. Like breathe. Like nothing here is that deep. So I'm like, breathe, right? It's fine. You have a problem with me doing the podcast. You saw it's a really long episode. Like it's a long podcast. So it's fine. I'll leave. If this is that much of a big deal. No. Okay. I was still okay. I'm like, it's fine. So because I have nothing to hide, I leave my phone there as like a show of good faith.
Yes,
my phone does not have a pin or anything. But I send a message to Lindy, which is the friend I was on the pod with that episode. And I'm like, my man is tripping, so I'm not going to stay.
Yeah.
I'm just telling her beforehand. This man goes through my messages during my walk. So now I'm mad because I said he was tripping, and he was. So I grab my bag, I come back. When I come back to the hotel, he's gone, and he sent me a message on my phone. It's over. What?
He left the phone at reception.
He left the room.
Oh, because he booked the room.
Because he booked the room for the whole weekend. He's like, yeah, I saw it. Like, so I get the message, and he sent me a message saying he's gone. He feels disrespected. I'm like, you just mad because there was nothing else on the phone.
Yeah.
Like, there was not an inkling of cheating of another man. That's
to
why you really mad.
To justify your anger.
Why you're tripping so hard. So then I decided to turn around and go back to the podcast and finish the recording.
How long have you guys been together at that time?
It was like 3 months. It was still early days, but like, yeah,
that's a red flag.
It was
though.
a big red
flag.
flag.
Big red flag.
That's a sign to get out of there.
We never really recovered from that, even though like
you tried to patch things up.
We tried to, but like it never really worked. And then I told him that he needs to go to therapy.
Don't we all?
Before we can even look at getting back together. And then he proposed. And then when he proposed, I was like,
how many months in
did
now?
you go to therapy? No, we were still not like together. I was like, okay, but like, have you done what I asked? Have you started therapy? And then he was like, I'm proposing, and that's what you bring up. I'm like,
That's such a red flag. Such a red
you
flag.
be good though. Have a great and so like now he's married.
Niggas like sometimes when they evade accountability, they throw a big thing.
That's exactly what he was
And
doing.
then women basa khonu ho elellwa hore, man. You shouldn't be marrying this guy.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be marrying this guy. But what he did is that he threw the one thing that he knows every woman will
This
fall
is
for.
the one that's going to kill you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the one that's going to kill you.
And that's what I told my mom. I told my mom the reason why this relationship didn't work, because obviously he had made it very clear from the beginning that like he wants to get married and stuff. So, you know, naturally that like gets parents excited.
For sure.
But when she asked like, what happened with you and this person, I was like, listen, this relationship might not be abusive, like physically right now, but it was definitely going to be.
It was toxic.
And so I
all
can't
the signs,
do that. And so that's what happened. And then the second time, I got ghosted. Like literally.
The second
like,
time was when we were at Yamaha.
When we were at Yamaha.
Yeah.
I got ghosted. So like that man was going through a lot. It was during COVID.
Yeah.
So like he had just lost his friend and then he had just lost his job. So he went home for the weekend in Northwest. And so now, you know, I'm like, we spoke that morning. I came back from the pod. I called him, but he didn't answer. But I'm not there,
Reading
right?
too much into it, yeah.
Like, obviously, I know that he's not okay.
Yeah.
I know that there's like some really tough conversations we need to have. Do we need to move in together? Like those are the conversations I'm waiting for us to have. And then, because I was at my parents' house that weekend, because it was easier to just go to Yamaha from there. And then I go back home on Sunday. I call him. I'm like, maybe he's traveling back. He's not answering the phone. I swear I only realized on Tuesday. What you know, man?
The common link.
Spoken to this man since Saturday morning. And then, so like officially, the dojo has ruined two of my relationships.
Are you seeing someone currently?
I am.
Sorry, buddy, lamb.
I told him I have a funny story for him, but I'll only tell him when I come back.
You should have brought him.
No, he's not even in the country.
You know when you were saying that the first guy Nana was stock. So when I was telling you come through, and
yeah.
So I'm like, no, come through. So I let be known her Nombali is not around.
Yeah.
But I'm doing it more for your comfort.
Yeah.
Or no, like if you wanna bring a friend, maybe because you might be coming think, also catch up with her, whatever. So I let it be known, no, Mbali hi. Don't you have a friend? Because it's like, actually, it's for your comfort. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
It's for your comfort. Yeah.
No, so he's not even
Now
in
you're
the
here
country.
surrounded by a bunch of niggas.
Just me and a bunch of niggas.
Yeah, all right, but let's get it. Let's say thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
Allowing us to redeem ourselves. TL Fire.
Not me being the diversity hire.
And then, you can see in the dojo women occupy a very prominent position. You can see how we never disturbed her telling us a story. Bullshit story, but we listen. You see?
Nonsense.
So there's no such thing that we censor women, I almost said,
Jesus.
Mudim. That's why you should never have this called Nyalunda. Sorry about that. Probably edit it out or something.
Yeah, please.
We'll get a serviette for you.
No worries. It didn't really affect me. Is it going to be stable? That's the question.
That's what you go.
Because I don't want it to like jiggy. It hurts the.
I pray.
Are you sure?
Let's try one more time.
And then you are thinking of your wife, I've got a cheaper one. I've got a guy who can do cheap.
Why?
Anyway, yeah, but thanks for coming through. Shoot the shit with the boys.
My pleasure.
You were given an opportunity to bring a friend. You didn't want to bring a friend, so we must not be accused of roping you in to agree with us. But yeah.
I can't be
shits.
roped in. But yeah.
Plus uyangichaza nofana nalaba abanye.
Thabang,
You are
please.
very mature for your
Please.
age.
Y'all better edit that out, please. I do not need
That's the
that.
grooming.
That is terrible. Please.
Una le itomnyana uhamba nazo.
No, stop it. Stop it.
I'll buy you a dress.
Go away.
Yeah, but yeah, thanks for coming. We just shooting the shits.
How you been?
Been good. Yeah, nothing eventful happened. But hey, spring has sprung. There's something in the air.
Ingi?
Febiru.
Okay.
How's speaking Febiru? Something is in the air. Because there was a Kota festival, which doesn't make sense to me, by the way. So like, but the man city kemche, but
What, the Soweto one?
The thing doesn't make sense. So you see, wine festival makes sense because you are going to discover maybe new wines, which might make you include them in your repertoire. You know, o patala 90 rand, o rotlo reka kota ya 50 or 60 rand, and the kota tsena ka bana ba compete. But the these steps, but now you've got 50 stalls, but you can only eat one kota.
You really can only eat one.
It doesn't make sense.
I've been to the Kota festival before. It's nice if you go with a group of friends.
Yeah.
Each of you grab a Kota from
Then
a
the
different
Tapole line.
stall, and then
Sure.
we all just share
Yeah,
it.
but
That's-
but the concept that it just doesn't make sense. Also because even if you, let's say, you discover a Kota A, because Kota is not like you can't find it at a Pick and Pay. So you in the north, but when I'm trying to shop on Kota into Mudula Protead land. So sure, I discovered this person with a Kota, I'm not, but I'm not going to Protead land to go eat Kota.
It's more like it's like going to an exotic food festival, I
No,
guess.
it's not.
No, it's
No,
not.
man, let me explain. Let me land. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I'm saying that because it's like, I understand that obviously, like the kotas themselves are, a kota is generic. Even if you add 15 million things on top of it, it's still a kota. But there's like really nice drinks and other businesses there that you'll discover. That's where I discovered like Soweto Gold the first time.
Okay, that's good.
That's
The
where
beer.
the flavored African beer stalls are like a big thing. So there's a lot of other stalls there.
Khonyane, go shop on to Mkhonye.
Shebile a ne ka lekeke.
This thing is
E le
already
o sebetsa ka
stable.
banna e.
Already unstable. So like a lot of like the hot sauce companies and whatever. It's a really great
Okay,
place to like
okay.
discover a lot of thriving black businesses.
Yeah, for
so it's great all encompassing. Yeah, sure. The focal point is the
It's
Kota,
the
but it's
Kota.
not the only thing.
Okay,
that's there.
nah, I'm with it. I'm with
Yeah.
it.
We requisite about here. We requisite. Yeah, but I just thought, okay, also another thing what they tend to do now, they'll add in entertainment.
Yeah.
There's a
It's like a
stage,
concert
there's
thing that
music
happens. It's a
and
full on.
stuff,
It's a full on
Yeah,
thing.
I found them to be cool family hangouts.
Yeah. Actually, ukarni baraka. Then after I think at 5, all the children have to go because
Yeah.
it now descend into like everything black.
It's groove. 100%.
It's the descent into madness.
yeah.
I feel like that's like gonna be your favorite thing to take away from this.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
episode
Yeah.
title right there.
Descent
Ladies and
into
gentlemen, we are about to descend
Into madness.
into madness. So that's what I did. The weather is nice. Kind of waiting. Hey, sitso ga style se sa basadi bare things that are going wrong. Hasel kala di dumedisa di kgwedi. Hello September, I'm here. But it's nice. It's nice. The cold weather is behind us. But I don't understand. Or like we shot up to stage 4
Nothing
of
makes
load shedding.
sense.
It just didn't make sense. Or we are paying for that COVID.
How long is stage 4 load shedding?
3 times a day.
Yeah.
At 2-hour intervals.
Yeah.
The frequency just increases.
Oh,
I
I've only been experiencing one a day.
Must be nice.
I've been getting 3.
I don't count the one that comes in at midnight.
Yeah, so Robert.
Well, then it's 2 still.
yeah,
Because the other one hits at like 10 roundabout.
Yeah.
Like they spread out, but still. It's weird. This is exactly what happened last year. and like when load shedding got worse, and like I didn't notice it because from September I'm outside.
Yeah.
So like there's so much time
yeah,
spent
you're not in the-
outside.
you're not in the
You
house.
come back and you're like, I don't understand how like it's
Yeah.
climbing because I'm not in the house.
Yeah.
I'm
Like
not using this shit.
who
Yeah.
is using
Who's using this
this?
shit? Yeah.
Everyone is outside.
But winner, okay.
I'm good. I'm good. I got hurt yesterday. Burnt myself.
Damn.
Unotsang, the chips.
I went go. Negeta Kota.
What's that chip? Yeah, the chips. Yeah.
I went go-karting. So they got the engine right here. Before
Oh.
they could tell me not to touch it, I had already placed my arm over there and it cooked me.
Oh,
Yes,
shit.
sir.
Cooked
That
me.
looks like a good 3rd-degree burn there.
Right.
It was
Cooked
sizzling. Nog een gapok daar.
over a new tattoo.
Bro, I was about to say, over you tattoo, we still a chalet. And a tattoo in mose.
I'm fit. Mara, I don't think it'll fuck it up that much, but it will leave a scar because I have one on my leg.
I see it.
This was a bike because the exhaust was still hot. And then the guy,
Otlotse ntwele. E ba rekisang uzuri da. Banal tissue oil.
oh yes,
Repgen, banal
for that
tissue oil.
thing, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, I should check it out.
And you must do it while it's still fresh.
That's a Des level segue. Well done.
Why?
That
That's
was a
incredible.
great
Yeah.
plug.
Yeah.
That was a great,
Segue.
great.
I thought
great
that's what he was
segue.
doing.
I was doing it on purpose. Because I
No,
realized
no, no,
that.
I realized it,
Sorry,
but
Kisi.
like,
Sorry, Kisi Uzuri, because they pay our bills, which is the online store. Talking about the Uzuri online store, we very soon we should be getting our merch there.
Yeah, I actually wanted to wear.
Yeah, I
To
thought
wear it
about
today,
that.
but,
Yeah, but
like,
let's hold it off.
yeah.
And so that's Modise's department, and my department. We have a party within our midst.
I get ready.
Yeah, so we have a party. I can announce.
Get ready.
I wonder Des will have time to have done the flyer, but we're gonna have the dojo events, talking about things descending into chaos. We are trying to go against that. Yeah, so I think we're gonna have a new direction in terms of how we do the events. It's gonna happen here at Better House. We are trying to look at something. Remember how the first dojo event was in
Bedford View.
in Bedford in 2018. So we are going back to the original core. That we're gonna keep the tickets to about 120 people. So when we really nothing at the door, we're gonna have nice, clean fun, grown folks, nice food. So I know we're gonna fight with a lot of DJs. Like Dojo people are so entitled, bro. It's told me. When I don't want to shelter high, ne? Ya di habli, ne? That guy every time can say flyer and fit one color. One color renting last time. I'm like, actually, highlights next, but like, I gotta give somebody else a chance, you know? So I'm expecting that the DJs are not gonna be happy.
I have a DJ that owes me money from 2009.
Remu Bukil, Askat.
No, 2009. I don't even
Oh,
know
for
you
your
then.
for your shits.
Yeah, that nigga, we gave him $2,000 and he never pitched. So every time I see his posts, but I remember that two-stainer. Especially when I'm broke, I'm like,
Then he should
"Oh,
come and
some
play for
money,
free.
bruh."
Maybe that's the only way he can
Ah,
pay.
He won't. He's a very arrogant DJ.
Yeah. So we're gonna have an event. I'm not gonna take out too much details about it, but I think what I can say is that we are planning to make them a bit more intimate. I don't want to use the word exclusive. More niche, more intimate. Then we can have have them frequently until the end of the year to enjoy the outdoors.
And time.
And time
capped. So they're not gonna go beyond
you're not gonna go
midnight.
beyond. So whatever you are used to, so it's like, grown and sexy.
They'll start early
Start early
and close early.
and
So
close early.
basically, day groove.
Yeah, day groove.
It's a day group.
It's a day
It's
groove.
day
Yeah.
groove.
Yeah.
Hlomukaba 8-9 rashad.
You guys have always been trying to get us to like come to the parties earlier. Is
Yeah,
this
but if you-
revenge?
Yeah, but if you
Yeah.
discover the
They
venue,
don't, just
it's gonna make sense. I think the other
I
thing,
know I'm one of them.
yeah, I think that the other thing, and by the way, we're gonna make them Sundays. The other thing, I just think that Saturdays you compete with a lot of things, like from eventing, mafu, mikete. People cram a lot of things on a Saturday, so we compete with a lot of those. But Sunday, what we're trying to do is that for me, we might do a brunch nyana that builds up into late lunch, showcase nice different meals, have some wines. Wabo, ha re bo ma 80, re kwala hantle, ba nra sebetsa. So that's what we're gonna be doing. So the tickets should be up on Uzuri actually in the next week. So and I encourage you to grab your tickets because there's nothing at the door. We are keeping the tickets at about 120.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like a fun time.
Sounds like fun.
Obviously,
You
I'm
can see
gonna
the
be
venue.
there.
Erekis, wa bona.
Oh, you want me to sell it
but,
now?
Yeah, no, but wabo.
No, the venue is gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
I took a nice walk because I was the first person here today. You know.
And
So,
I
took a walk.
and you know, Kadi venue, we don't know we
No.
we never miss the
this
mark.
venue is
We never miss
one
the
of the
mark.
top.
yeah.
One of the best venues I think
Yeah.
you found. It's a gem.
Yeah, thank you. So that's what we're trying to go for.
Aye.
And there go them couches.
Couches were catching strays. Let the couches
Amen.
rest.
Yeah. And also
Somehow-
you can see the place is very central. It's Diplotong, it's in Kalami, very close to Four Ways, very close to Santon, very close to Midrand. It's quite nice.
TG, how you doing, dog?
I'm alright, bro. Before we get into me, I wanted to just find out, outside of go-karting, what else did you get up to?
That's all I did.
Oh, alright.
Yeah,
No,
I just did.
alright. I'm
Sorry,
good,
man.
bro.
Talking about go-karting,
Yeah.
it's always interesting to me, like Botaki, Lemangamla, like how we experience the world, the world differently.
Yeah.
So, honale no kada kapla ha ka ke phakwa bo. So there's always a scuffle between Bodaki le Mangamla because rona re etsa ntho tsa setho da re a hlaba re sia masiba re etsang. So now what they did is that thing is popular because it's got a waterfall. So disangoma tse ngata di lo hlapisa batho. So
Yeah.
what they did, they put like sandbags to stop it from being a waterfall.
Damn.
Babo gore batho ba ska etswa bo. So ke a fihla da ke lo etsa ntho tsa ka da. So ke a qala ke a buka ba lwantsha this guy plus I think he's foreign wa bona o tla ngwa di tlosa ntho tsena ba di beya o etsang. After that I'm chilling on the bench, like maybe I'm having a drink whatever. Then ba khwana mfethu a tsama di ntja mfethu. Wa bona ntja e ka renya e hula wena. And they expect you to understand. They expect you to understand gore we got fear of dogs, bro.
Yeah.
We've got a fear of dogs. Marabona, they get so comfortable doing their thing that we have to justify what we do. Maban ke a thabeng. Ha ke le thabeng da. Wa rapedi. A di a fitla tse ka di quad bike. Ke ta ke a bona thaba. Bona pleke. Emna se athandaza. And I look at them. I'm looking at them. I'm like, yo, niggas is paying for their lives, bro. Like, bana le mathata. Tsena bona di bona ntho fela terrain. Wait wa jena. So hona la uthi engwe. Yeah. I think hona le mutlwanyana da. So they also do hunting, wabo.
Yeah.
And now you are thinking this guy can't thunyela fela racist, not because wabo. Then I look at him like, yeah, you know, our interests as Mahwale Bodaki are quite different.
Yeah.
Very different, bro. Very different. Yeah, so that's what happened on Sunday.
That's like driving past Dentally Fu Bitse sound.
Mm.
You know, like
You turn
it's
that
okay
shit
if
down.
you turn that
Yeah.
shit down when you drive
With
past it.
respect,
Yeah.
yeah. Untitse LP. Hey. Let's be
Get some
honest.
Danoye,
Everywhere there's
left.
black people, there's a problem. Let's be honest, bro.
Black people are.
Aye, man.
Yeah.
Let's get
How
into
was-
the shits.
Yeah,
Let's
but
get
we
into
talk
the
about
shits.
it,
Oh, yeah, no, man.
Last week on Simon, we can say leave application ka midnight.
Yeah, man. Ish. You know, some nights get hectic, and then kunzima ukuvuka the following day. But
bro.
I've been well, man. I've been well. Just busy with Span. We're doing post production for a reality show, which was hilarious because of last week's episode.
What's it
yeah.
about?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
you
know.
can't talk.
We're doing a reality show that's gonna come out on Showmax. It's actually season 3 that's gonna come out. It's just I just joined them now. You know?
Oh.
What's
Okay.
the show?
With
Trying to look-
Big- yeah.
So
yeah.
the same. It's still
Yeah. You know, we're just putting together a few stuff.
oh.
Yeah, that's gonna come out to season 3, so that's gonna be
Okay,
Okay.
quite dope.
that's dope.
Yeah.
Niggas is booked and busy.
We are chill, bro. We are chill, getting to the bag. Yesterday was Joburg day, but my aunt called me at like past 6 in the evening, telling me, "Yo, bro, I got your tickets," and I asked her like on Monday.
Yeah, I saw it. Where does it happen?
In Lanseria.
Yeah.
Kia 94.7.
Yeah.
What
You-
happened there?
It's like a
It's like
concert.
it's just outdoors.
It's
Yeah,
festival
like,
vibe.
it's a
yeah,
spring
yeah,
thing.
Yeah.
It's a spring thing,
Yeah,
Velene.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was used to be called Huawei. At some point.
It used to be
Huawei
Huawei Joburg Day.
Joburg Day, yeah, ne sponsor like one.
What happened to the rancho?
Here, Munarincho.
Didn't it like run out of money mid-COVID?
When would it happen?
The
It
last
happened
one
in
was
Easter
20.
weekend.
Banaba school at that break here Easter.
Yeah.
Easter.
Yeah.
I've never been to the rancho
Ever.
Really?
ever.
Ah, yeah, you lost out.
Ever.
That thing was nice.
And it
bro.
was like the place to go to when we
Yo.
were growing up because
No.
kids that had like relatives in Joburg,
Yeah.
that's all they would talk about after
Yeah, no.
holidays.
It used to
What
be
is this
proper.
rancho?
In fact, then Lebanon, the last day we used to be groove. So there'll be like quite shows, quite artists back Walang Shoka the last day. So we'll take our
Yeah.
kids.
So what was it? Was it like a
Think of Gold Reef
Yeah, Gold Reef, yeah.
meets Market Day.
Yes,
type vibes.
that's a
oh they
perfect
had
way.
like
They had
Stalls
a
of
whole
food,
carnival,
yeah.
furniture,
setup,
all,
yeah.
all sorts of
but
things.
permanent
Cars.
buildings, permanent setup.
No,
Or-
like they set it up for
They
the
build
weekend.
it. Yeah.
Yes.
So they
For
ran
that
out of money.
weekend. I think
The holding
what happened
company.
It was the holding
Yeah, I
company,
think the holding
and then
company,
like
it's-
during COVID, it just
And they
kinda,
couldn't get sponsors?
I don't
It's an
know.
event.
That thing used to print money, man.
It used to because the difference was, especially growing up, Gold Reef was you'd pay entrance and all the rides were free, but Rancho entrance was free, but you'd pay for all the rides.
You pay for all the rides, yeah.
So that was like the different kind of business model.
It used
that
to be
would work.
nice,
but
man.
it was great because it was like it would only happen one weekend
Yes.
or 2 weekends.
Yes.
If
During that school, I think
Yeah.
they were capitalizing on that school holiday.
during Easter weekend, that's
Yeah,
when
yeah,
it
yeah.
happens, and then like everyone just goes.
And
there.
then you would have popular sales like
Alam gang co-leader.
they would have discounts on the last day, like on furniture, half price. It used to be heaven, bruh. It used to be heaven. Like it used to be such a nice family outing.
Can you
I've,
check?
I think I've taken my firstborn because my little ones they said I take para off, but it's quite nice. It's quite nice.
Okay, so like these like Gold Reef City type
Yeah,
rides.
Yeah.
Then they add in a lot of things. Like there'll be other stores like for furniture for like good price. The price you are sharp. Then there'll be concert like what
Yeah.
you're saying. It means market day. When I lead the performance, stage.
Yeah, I used to be so jealous, bro. Niggas would see Dub, remember Dub? from
Yes,
SABC
Dub
too,
was like
bro.
a
I'd be
big
like,
thing.
yo,
The
Double-dations,
alien.
bro.
Oh.
Double-dations.
Dub, the
Dub,
alien.
dub.
SAPC2 alien.
SABC2, yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so
the
yeah, there would be
mascot.
that. Boyo TV will broadcast from there.
Yeah.
It used to be nice, man.
Primary school crushes.
Yeah, it would be nice. And it's about who? It's about Tubana.
And it's about whole. And
Yes. Married with
I mean, I was
kids.
seeing Hulisani. Hulisani went to school with my sister. Used to come to my house. Man. How come like she became a grown ass woman? Saifo.
Saifo's like married now.
Yeah,
or
Saifo's
something,
married.
right? Like he's a full on married. Like I think all of them are married.
Salamina.
Salamina. Yeah, the Shade.
Sade is like living in the UK.
Yes.
Which one is the one that's like all tattooed up now?
Yeah,
Sade.
Shade.
That's Shade, yeah.
Yeah,
Sade
Shade.
is like living in the UK.
No, Mandisa, okay.
Mandisa, yeah, Lena she went a bit off the radar. Then she came back. I think she's married or she has a child as well. Yeah, Mandisa was popular earlier in Kota. All of them, man. Babang jwale ebile ka ba baholo rona. Baba jwale. Ne re ba qenela ka re le sister la hao motho
Who
enwa.
was that light skinned one? Was it Sisi?
Sisi, yeah, there was also Sisi.
She was the younger one.
Yeah, she was the younger one. The last generation, Yana Nekena.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a lot. It used to be a brand. That thing used to be a brand.
Man,
It
I'm
used
sad
to
I
be
never
the
got to see
it
the
thing.
retro.
It used to be the it thing growing up.
Yeah, no, it used to be the thing. Speaking of which, like how Nana can totally groove. Then there used to be like you remember the jazz festival by the lake in Zoo Lake?
Yes.
That thing used to be so
Thabang.
nice, bruh.
Yeah.
I went to that one.
I
twice.
did not go to that one.
That thing
because
used to be so nice.
I'm young. Sorry, guys.
Then I was young.
Yeah, I went to that one.
We were young. We were young.
I think my mom got like hijacked, so I had like PTSD. From
Yeah,
that
now I
one.
lost my 3310
Yeah.
there. I
My
remember.
mom got hijacked because she went to the
card.
jazz
In Van.
festival, and then she got hijacked like on her way back, and it was just such a weird time because like I'm a kid,
Yeah.
but like I felt something was wrong. So like I'm out here, I'm crying for no reason
Yeah.
because I knew that like something is wrong with my mom.
Yeah.
Ganti, my mom got hijacked. She was fine, but like, yeah, Never went to that one.
Yeah, the outside was nice, man. It was nice.
It used to be
It used
dope.
to be nice,
Back when
like-
Makufe was still Makufe.
Bomakufi. Yeah, man. Like,
Because my first experience with Makufe was as a child.
eh.
At the jazz.
That's so wild.
When
to
I went
me.
back though, it was not. Well, the jazz is always the focal point
Yeah.
of that weekend, but nobody goes to the
Yeah,
jazz.
nobody goes
it's
to
all,
that,
It's
yeah.
only the grown folk.
Sometimes even WhatsApping in and around, because I've never been to Makufe directly. I went to visit my cousin who lives there, and it so happened to be the weekend that thing. Like in King, that popular kawash.
So you went to Makufe.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. But
Mahunga.
60s, bro. Like 60s. Going to Maf Town.
Yeah, at the 60s.
Oh!
Crazy.
I can't relate. I've never been to Makufe.
Is it?
Not
Yeah,
once.
Makusalemnyane.
No, not even. It was more, I think, because my parents would do those things.
Oh, yeah.
I would never want to
Never
be
could
in
write
a
about
place.
So what were
Yeah.
your like festivals growing up?
No, like for me, it's like 50 Cent concert, Trey Songz
Yeah,
concert.
the
Oh, the
dome, the peak of the dome.
Strictly hip hop.
Yeah.
Cause I grew up here. Like the way
You're a
I
Joburg
grew
girl.
up in Joburg is like hilarious because Pugne unveiling like last weekend, and it was my great grandfather's unveiling. Like I'm a tombstone and whatever, and so best puma Alex because that's where my great grandparents
Used to live,
lived
yeah.
in Alex. So like the way I am from Joburg.
you
Like
Joburg.
Angina, I don't have
Under Makaya, man.
no, Emakaya go say Alex.
Lex.
Like that's where it is. Like for me, and it like that week was just a very eye-opening week of like
Yeah,
my
then
life is kind of different.
I remember
Because-
those peaked as well, like the concert, the dome.
Yeah,
Dome,
like,
yeah.
like I was that person. I went when Timberland came in, Sierra, Trey Songs.
Yeah.
Like all those concerts, like that was me.
Hey, mfana bona 3 songs that weekend, the 3
That
songs.
weekend,
Three songs.
I missed him every single time
Go to
because he
Mfana.
went to Latinova.
Go to
I was
Mfana.
at Latinova.
It was the emergence. It was like also it was like the peak nyana, yeah, social media.
Yeah.
Like it's not 100% influencers we know it, but utho la khirila ha kena mfana la khirila that man. It's a fita kancane.
And he's that nigga.
Yeah, it's a fita kancane. They were victims, bro.
At that point.
They
yeah,
were victims, bro.
before we realized how
Victims.
much of a trash person.
Yeah.
he
But that's how
was.
it goes. If you're too
Yeah.
far in the mix.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were victims. Bro.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
From what we heard,
Yeah,
he's a
okay.
wild boy.
No,
Yeah,
very,
yeah.
very.
No, he's there's always allegations that come up about him, but they always die down. But out mfana bathuna balla mfana matita nalla ka bana ba bona mfika. Ba sa arabe
Who's the one?
And about to laugh.
Yo! mfana.
Even
Ba o
the
tshwere
Les,
molapo,
right? Wasn't it like the Les's baby mama or
Hey,
something?
mna
Who
re buka
was
mabitso
it?
a
Was
batho
it-
mara remember there's a popular guy.
No,
There's a
but
popular
like-
guy. There's a
that was
popular
like-
there's a popular guy. Ba re diamond la shapa ngwana media high le ngwana bona.
Huh?
Yeah?
Nako bile was Twitter popping but no Facebook was the thing then.
Which year was this?
This nilbo man nako mangahlala man. It's about 2012.
2010.
That's
10.
peak. Oh, no.
Yeah,
that's not
2010,
peak.
yeah.
He
It was
came in
2010.
2010.
Yeah, like Facebook was the wabo.
Facebook was still.
Twitter nena nilbo ye ilunjiwe bile. I hope na re botse the account ma re sa di etse. But that's
Yeah.
when amfana no liwa mfethu. The Joburg inner circle. Ah, no liwa mfethu.
Nah, wasn't
Were
it?
you also trying to get picked by Trey
Uno
Songz?
kempera invite. Siyakududuza nawe. Sikhala sibani. Sikhala sibani.
No, to answer your question, no. I actually, at that point in time, like, my family was, like, in the circles with, like, the people that were bringing him or, like, the marketing. But, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, that weekend was wild because I kept missing him.
Because
Like,
there was
the
more
entire
important things
time.
at home. Yeah.
No, no, it was timing more than anything. There was, like, I don't know if you guys remember the Sands, but this is
I
when like
remember
the
the
Sands
Sands,
was
yeah.
popping.
He
Yeah.
hosted a
He was
party there
supposed to
once.
be at the Sands, and it was supposed to be a free event. I'm still a varsity student, please. I am not spending any money for a free event. And then he was there, and then they eventually gave us free tickets, and I was like, nah, like, let's forget it. Let's go to Latinova. Then we went to Latinova, and then he came to Latinova too. But, like, I left Latinova by the time he was there. It was just one of those things, and then I just didn't make, like, I was grooving a bit too much, so I
Yeah.
didn't make the concert. So, like, I missed him.
Now we had fun, man. We had fun.
That was a fun time.
We had fun.
Lil Wayne,
Jega, we saw Jega.
Yeah, Eminem came.
Such a terrible
Ah,
performance.
Eminem.
Eminem
Philly
came.
came.
Whoa, I was at the 50
I
Cent
was at
concert. I was
50.
at the 50 Cent concert alone because none of my friends wanted to go to 50 Cent. And I was like, you guys are mad. I am going
What
to
year was
50
50 Cent?
I think it was 09.
Must be 09 or 2010 too, yeah?
No, not
was
2010.
09.
I think it was 09. 08, 09.
I don't go to concerts
It was 09.
and then regret not going after I see the history that was made. I'll always regret not having gone to the Casper Phillip.
That one,
And
I'm
I don't
not-
know why I didn't do it.
I will always regret not going there.
Why didn't
Every
I do
time I
Phillip?
see footage from that
Yeah.
thing, we had never seen anything like that
Yeah.
before. Probably maybe since Lucky Dube and Brenda Fassie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he did two as well, because he proved the point. Can the Dome, then he did Orlando Stadium.
He did
And
FNB.
He did,
FNB.
yeah,
FNB.
that's
Yeah,
for
that's
now.
the one I went to. Yeah, FNB was fire.
I will always regret not having gone to
Yeah,
to that.
because those are culture shifting kind of moments.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
Whether you like him or not.
yeah.
You know.
FNB was the truth.
Yeah.
I
Yeah, outside used to be nice, man.
I didn't go to Casper. I don't feel a way about it though.
Mm.
I'm really sad that I'd missed Kendrick that first time,
Yeah.
but now he's coming, so I'm absolutely going to Kendrick.
You see,
Okay.
I'm not gonna go to Kendrick now.
Yeah. Not now. It doesn't make sense.
What?
Why?
No, no,
Why-
no.
why
For
not
me,
now?
I need to hear To Pimp a
Because-
Butterfly live.
Exactly.
Now. Yeah. And he's not going to
Exactly.
He is
Exactly.
going to
Because
do
I'm
it.
going to hear that,
Yeah.
and I don't want to go and hear that.
Oh no, I want to
With
hear
deep-
that.
with depth.
Right. I
I
don't want to
actually
go.
want
I don't.
it.
I don't want to go to a Kendrick concert to go hear "Pimp a Butterfly."
And
I want
decide
to go to a
pass.
Kendrick concert and hear
Good Kid, Mad City.
"Good
Good
Kid,
Kid,
Mad
Mad
City."
City.
That must be the main, you
I
know,
mean, you
and
can-
Damn,
you can do
and maybe a
two.
bit
Yeah.
of Section
Yeah.
80, and you know the
Yeah.
throwaways that he used to do during that period.
Yeah.
You know, everything after that, man, he lost me.
Nah, I love like T-Bap is like one of my favorite
so-
albums of all time.
And that's why I don't go to the concerts, because by the time they come here, they're already, you know,
They
The
told
catalog is far
in
deep
that
into it.
era where they are now established and they're making what the music that they want,
Yeah. Yeah.
not what we want.
Well,
Yeah.
not what you
Yeah.
want to hear.
Yeah.
You want to hear.
Yeah.
You want to
So I'm
hear.
like-
You want to hear Kung Fu Kenny.
That's why I didn't even go to the J. Cole, man.
Yeah.
I went to the
I did
I
go to
went
J.
there.
Cole.
I went alone.
I don't
Speaking of
think
going
I
to
have
concerts
ever
alone.
fought harder in my life
Than
to
to see
go
Cole.
to a concert than J. Cole.
He was
Same.
Castlelight there too, ne?
It
Yeah,
was Castle
yeah,
Light.
it
I
was.
went to J. Cole and listen, I loved every damn. I went alone. I went alone because like again, like concerts became like my solo my solo date and whatever, because like my friends were never really into hip hop like that. But I was, and I was like, if you guys don't want to go, that's fine. I am absolutely going.
I miss Nas, man. I never went to Nas.
I never
I wouldn't have missed that for the world.
And there was a reason I missed it. But I saw Nas in South Africa.
yeah.
What happened was Heineken once did these things where it was a black event. Nobody would know about it.
Yeah.
It
I
was
remember
underground.
those.
So it was somewhere in town. They booked Khalees. So they would
Okay.
do Cypress Hill. They would like do very eclectic-ish, but not too obvious, a big ticket thing.
Yeah.
So when I got there, and it was like very hush how they used to give out the things, wabo. So I had friends in the music industry. So we got our bands. I get excited because you would never know who the artist is until you get there. Ke na masepa Khalees. Ke
Nah, you
sakwata.
better put some respect on
No, I'm not saying that in a
Mano
disrespectful
Shakes.
way.
Okay.
I'm just saying, but like, yeah, I'm seeing God,
I'd
bro.
be mad pissed too.
Ah, bro,
Yeah,
I'm
because
seeing
Nas is
God.
right here, bro.
I'm seeing God, bro. Because when Jigga came, Beyonce was there.
Yeah.
Because I think there was even a club that hosted him, and I think it was Latin
Yeah,
Nova
yeah,
used to
yeah.
do that.
Yeah.
So in Tonalida,
You see, when Hope was here,
Yeah.
right? That was peak Jigga.
yes, that was
Yeah.
Peak Jigga. Did you
Yeah.
go?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
He's
peak
like, I'm
What?
not missing
Jigga,
that for the
right?
world.
You
He
see,
was with Rihanna, ne?
Hove, bro.
He was with
Yeah,
Rihanna, yeah.
yeah.
He was with
Yeah,
Rihanna, yes.
yeah.
She
that
was
was
a
that was peak
special
Jigga.
guest.
We don't have
Yeah.
Jigga anymore.
Yeah,
we
we
just
don't
have
have
Jay Z.
Yeah,
You have
we've lost.
Jay Z. You have the mogul
But
now.
that was Jigga.
Yeah.
I would
He
not
was
have
at the
missed
door.
that.
Hove.
Yeah, I did that.
And at least when Nas came, we knew what to expect.
Yes.
It was a orchestra, yeah, Illmatic.
Yeah, which is good.
So I know what I'm going to hear when I get
You
there.
wanna experience that.
But then now I'll go to J. Cole and then I'm like, love yours.
And
Yo,
you just
man,
say
love yours.
and
Yo,
it was
man,
beautiful.
it
And
was
you don't understand.
beautiful, bro.
To hear,
I had
like, you
tears
don't
in my eyes, bro.
understand. Like,
I don't
to
want to go
see-
hear love yours.
To see J. Cole.
What you wanna hear, bro?
Strangers were hugging
I
each
wanna
other
hear
during that
that.
performance, bro. During that song, I was hugging people I don't know, bro. Like,
It was
I wouldn't have minded to hear that.
That's the J.
either.
Cole I don't like.
yo, bro, that was fire.
Loved it.
I fought to get tickets, bro. I was in tickets dropped and I was checking out of a hotel in Midrand, and I hear on the radio the tickets have dropped, and I drove to the nearest checkers I could find to go get a ticket, bro. And then turned out like 30 minutes later, tickets were sold
sold
out. So
out.
I'm
Like,
like,
he's got
yo.
such a cult following, that one.
They were sold out so quickly. Like I literally got my ticket the day of the concert, because I was like, I am going to J. Cole. Like at some point, someone was like, I've got 1.2, I've got the VIP ticket. I was like, give it to me. I don't care. I'm working at a call center at that time. I don't have that money, but I'm like, give it to me. I will make sure.
That's
I
how-
am not missing J. Cole.
That's how I
for
bought the
anything.
Eminem ticket. I bought
Yeah.
the Eminem tickets in traffic. They dropped, and I knew in a few hours they would
be
have been
sold
sold
out.
out.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in traffic. By the time I got to the office, I was in.
See, this is why I
But now
really...
it's like going to a fucking Kanye concert to go listen to Donda.
Yeah, like nah. You want college dropout and think Kanye. And
Kanye
graduation.
concerts are like a moment of history, like because they're all
But
so different.
I did go to the Kanye at the Dome, and that was one of the best shows.
I also
I've ever
didn't go to
been
Kanye.
When AKA
Look, did
didn't
I-
want to open for him.
Yes.
Was
I
that when?
didn't
Yeah.
go.
No, did I go to Kanye? Was it Sprite?
When he was still wearing that
The-
crystal.
when
I went.
diamond mask.
I went. This now when you do, I
Yeah.
went to Kanye.
That shit was crazy.
I went to Kanye.
The one that I'm pissed off the most of is the Lil Wayne concert. Cause
I went to the Wayne.
I went to the Wayne concert.
Drake was also in
listen,
town. Ne?
But I hate that because I bought the first ticket that was available when it dropped. I
Yeah.
was like, I am not. And then Drake came
Yeah,
the day
Drake. Yeah,
after. I was like,
Drake
what
was in
the
the
hell,
Pretoria
dog?
Showgrounds.
Yeah.
And then Young Money was running shit. Like these niggas are coming to Africa, running two series. I went to the Wayne one. I went to the Wayne one.
I was so mad because like on the next day.
Oh, you
then
would have
that's
rather
when
went to
Ross-
Drake.
No. Ross and Drake showed up at the Wayne concert, but it was the day after. The ticket that I had already bought.
Ah,
I was
snap.
so pissed. I was
Shit.
so pissed because you're like, I made sure. Like when that one dropped, I was like, I am not playing.
you're on
I
it,
got
right?
it immediately.
And concert
then
tickets
that
are
happened.
expensive.
Expensive,
these days,
yeah.
eh?
I know nowadays it's a whole thing. It's a whole thing.
So you gotta make it worth my while, man. I'm not dropping a couple of grand to go hear albums I don't like.
Yeah. Well, for you, I understand why you won't go to. I need to hear T-Bag. I need to. I am so hyped.
Do y'all want to get into the shit?
Yeah, man. What's on the cards?
Yes.
Alright. Okay, let's get into serious stuff now. So, what the fuck? This is the wrong
Treatment
season.
ya lona ke neng ka forcing re lo re bona re lo rota.
Hey, my man, you know, I
Like, I'm
sent
not
this.
reading
I sent
shit.
this through on Thursday, bro. Like the fact that Joe got this yesterday is a bit crazy.
Bone ke lo rota nna ntho.
But the first thing here we have is the Joburg fire that happened. 74
yeah.
people
Yeah.
died. Over 50 injured.
Hey, mkhonyana.
God damn.
Yeah. There's a couple of people who are burnt beyond recognition. Apparently, it's because of the hijacking, the building hijackings, like they're
Yeah.
overcrowded and stuff. So
But we don't know what caused the fire.
Yeah.
Still
Yet.
not been
It
established yet.
hasn't been established.
Whether it's an electrical thing or not because ba re na le mokhukhu ga
Yeah.
Ba re ya, ba besa dipaola le kana.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, bro.
Like imagine brother a shack inside a block of flats.
You know where I used to
Bro,
work?
it's
Downtown? At the Red Bank?
Yeah.
When you're on the higher floors,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
some of the windows are opposite these abandoned buildings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you get to see
The things you
inside.
see
We're
there.
like, bruh, yo, people are living.
Yes, so bona Gaut in town, bruh.
O bona motho a hlapa ra ka basikomonda. The window is broken.
Yeah.
O ipetshitse ka mabox. The walls are black because you see this fire that gets lit up in there.
Pompo ya teng ha e kwalehe.
Washing, hanging out the
Pompo ha e
windows.
kwalehe.
Yeah. What's such as
Ha e kwalehe tap.
It's crazy. It's crazy. It's
madness.
crazy how people are living down there.
Yeah. So how many people died?
74
74.
confirmed right now.
I thought it was 40.
Yeah.
No,
73.
it was 40 like about 3 hours after like the
Yeah.
story, bro.
As it
But
developed, the
as
numbers.
it continued,
Yeah,
it
'cause
just kept climbing.
They say the
Article
fire
I read
started
only
around
had
1
9
a.m.
people possibly identified.
Yeah.
I don't know if that number has increased. Or
Dying through
since.
fire, it must be some hell, man.
A lot of people don't die from the actual fire. I think
die
only
from
the
the
ones
fumes.
who were burnt beyond recognition. Otherwise,
By the time you get
it's
burned, you're
usually
already
the
dead.
smoke inhalation
Yeah.
that kills you.
Yeah.
Even that's like to
But you're
suffocate.
going to feel some of that burn, though.
You're gonna suffocate.
You're going to get some of that burn,
The
though.
thing about suffocating is that eventually, like, you pass out. Like, your body
Yeah.
makes you pass out. So, like, you don't actually die away.
So who in the hell locked the place up? Because they were trapped inside. How did they get in?
They live there.
They live there.
But how did they get in?
It's a
Or maybe the
hijacked
main
building.
entrance,
To a point where when there was a fire, they couldn't get out.
You couldn't get out. I must actually read up on the story.
Yeah, I know that's what happened, but like you could, I don't know, man. I think the thing is up until like the cause of the fire is established.
Because what if they were
that's-
trapped, man? Like the
Yeah.
place was locked up, which it would be because it's an
Because
abandoned building.
It's an abandoned
But-
building, so
or maybe
that
the
would make
places
sense.
it's about those are the parts that were burning. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like
sounds freaky.
yeah, it sounded weird that they couldn't get out.
But
given
like,
that they were
imagine
staying
if
there.
like there's a big chain on the door. You can't touch it if there's a fire.
I get that, but you live there, and you work too,
Yeah, I mean not everyone.
and you're busy too. So you in and out on a daily basis.
Yeah.
But
What
I-
happened to that in and out on the day of the fire?
I think
Was the fire at night?
no, it was during
No,
the day.
it was no. It
No,
started.
early-
The fire
early
started
hours,
at
right?
1 a.m.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1:30 a.m.
Jesus.
Yeah.
So a lot of people you could say probably were asleep during that time. And then it just caught them off guard by the time that the
It
fire
was
is
so
actually
panic.
blazing.
It was so hot there.
People are fight or flight. You're not in your right mind. You're not thinking rationally.
Now we should get banned beyond recognition. But bapatwa jwang?
Close
Se re
casket.
negotiate a leoto da. Ya mna ke leoto la
Nah.
Thabang.
Yeah.
Hayi man,
close
le
casket.
nagaltse yo mfethu.
Also, they get identified through their teeth.
Oh, DNA.
Dental records.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your teeth are another set of fingerprints.
But how does that work?
They so a lot of people they have like specific teeth, I think, and like whatever medical records you might have, your teeth will be on there, so they can like actually identify because your
understand.
teeth don't burn easily.
I don't understand. What, they take pictures of what your teeth look like,
There's
or-
typically
or you barge into a mole?
Are they unique?
yeah teeth
Yeah,
are
so
they're
they
unique.
are.
unique.
Yeah,
Teeth
no
are
one has the
unique.
same set of teeth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So a lot of the time when someone's burnt beyond recognition, it's the teeth, the dental records that
You see,
tell.
people that know things.
Like
Really,
now you're
really.
bringing it.
Yeah.
So don't
Things
don't,
we
don't
things,
start it.
things we don't know.
Stuff.
Look at you.
People with hobbies and stuff. Yeah.
Look at you.
Actually interested in this.
Women
Why
love
did I-
true crime. Okay, I don't know. You guys deserve that beating that you got on the timeline.
I was
please.
hoping that it wasn't going to be DNA because that backlog is.
Yeah, I leave
It's
that back. It's hectic.
insane,
It's
yeah.
hectic. Yeah.
But I think because DNA works according to like different things, right? So like there's the blood DNA, which takes forever, but like the teeth one
swabs.
shouldn't necessarily take because there's not always a reason to use teeth.
Yeah.
First and most what's this reliable is
There's no
always
reason to use teeth. Please.
yeah, not up until it's like a fire
you-
or something where you can't get DNA.
I'm just saying, even if your head is hanging off the edge of the bed, don't use your teeth.
Really? You guys gonna bring that up the whole time? Are you guys
And
shocked?
I wonder if maybe what's the element between local and foreign? Is probably largely
we
foreign
don't know.
We don't know.
that
We
is
don't
yet,
know
no.
anything.
We don't
because
know.
hijack buildings are known mainly for
Yeah.
having a lot of foreign people. A lot.
Yeah,
I
but it's a
don't
lot
want
of
us
our
to get
people
into
in there
that
It's
too.
a lot
subject.
of
a
our
lot.
people in there.
A lot.
Because
a lot.
why wouldn't you live there as well? Makes
And
no
about
sense.
and about Bedland, I was all about say hi.
Right.
What are you saying? Asbag. Asana asbag sa udula.
Mm.
You can't
Somebody's
go.
taking it
Hey,
over.
you can't go home for too long.
Mm.
Ntho tsa o di a lahleha,
That is crazy.
Hey, we
living.
got 2 days fela ka lefu o khutle fast. Because
Because
baka
otherwise-
sao.
Yeah.
Hey,
So
awuna
you love
sibaka.
who sit down.
Khutle, you have to look for a new place how cool.
Can you imagine just like the It's Sin City in there.
It is.
The drugs, the violence, the
It's
rape.
not even Sin City. You guys ever watch the movie called Dread?
No.
Probably not. It's Dread in there, 100%.
Yeah, sorry,
And
dude.
ironically, Dread was shot in South Africa.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Dread as in TRED or dread.
DREDD.
Okay.
It's like this movie about there's like these law enforcement officers. They're allowed to be judge and jury. when
Judge
they-
Dredd.
Yes, Judge
Sylvester
Dredd.
Stallone.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
I've
the
seen it.
movie, that one was actually shot in South Africa. The one with what's her name? She
Taye
played
Diggs.
Cersei. Cersei. There was like a remake done.
Oh, there was I remember the
like
original
in
Judge
the
Cersei and
Dredd.
Game of
2000
Thrones.
something.
Oh.
It's actually got the woman who plays Cersei in Game of Thrones. She's like the big thing. So like precisely like that. That is exactly what it is like living in a Joburg building, and I think that's why they also shot it in Joburg.
Actually, what are those? How about hijacked? Are these buildings that used to belong to somebody, maybe who's died? So
They
come-
belong to someone.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that, but the state does not have a claim over it to clean it up or
Yes.
to take over it, so that
They belong to someone, but this nigga
I
can't
know.
get these people
Yes,
out.
I know. Because
So he just abandoned
I get
them.
into like I'm point I'm here for 2 days or can you go and taking niggas up
Yeah. So we were...
talking about the hijacked building, fire in the hijacked building,
In
Yeah.
Joburg.
Joburg.
Yeah.
Which part of Joburg? Was it Marshalltown or was it Hillbrow?
Marshalltown.
Yeah.
Marshalltown.
Yeah,
But isn't Marshalltown the part that they rejuvenated?
they are.
It is, yeah.
But
Mona
there's still
Nalbos,
so many
There's still-
buildings.
Anglo America, and whatnot.
I wish they could take back Joburg too.
I
But to its
really
thing,
do.
It's former glory. It's
It's former
apartheid.
glory.
It's apartheid glory.
Oh,
Not
okay.
it's apartheid.
Are you missing apartheid too,
You
bro?
know? Apartheid glory.
Are you
Even
missing-
Hillbrow used to be that spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a-
100%. Yeah.
If you check at the development of Joburg, ne,
Yeah.
I noticed this trend. I don't know if there's some truth to it, but in the olden days, Hillbrow was the hippiest place
Yes.
in terms of youth and culture, right? That's where all the actors used to stay. After Hillbrow, they moved to Yeovil.
Yeah.
After Yeovil, Melville became popular. Now after Melville, it's actually Rosebank. Like Melville is no longer popping as it used to be.
Yeah.
It isn't, but
Now after Rosebank, I think what I'm seeing the development is now the waterfall area. That whole development, waterfall, is now the more vibey, ebony thing that's happening.
you missed an area. There's
Which area?
Bryanston. That like
Bryanston
became
Drive.
a thing. Yeah, like Bryanston actually became like a hippie. And like Bryanston was
Maboneng.
never Bryanston. Like it was never
you guys
actually
didn't mention
that.
Maboneng, did you?
No, he didn't mention
Yeah, I didn't
Maboneng.
mention Maboneng.
Yeah, that was...
Maboneng was like a big
The
drink
thing is Maboneng.
farm.
The thing is Maboneng. It's just like only a certain strip. It was like, I'm talking Hillbrow, where like the entire area.
Yeah.
Was, you know, it was offices, it was
So you're saying
companies.
Bryanston.
Not Bryanston, I wouldn't mention.
Bryanston became a thing, but Bryanston for a different reason, right? So like Bryanston, what happened was, I guess all the apartheid era people, they stayed, but their children left, and then they started dying, and so that area became available for
We bought
younger
up the
black
properties.
people
Then
to
now-
like come in. So like technically black people gentrified Bryanston, which is like a really weird thing to say, but like it shouldn't be.
But the
But
thing
yeah.
is, but
So like all the development in Bryanston becoming like the farmers markets and what, that was never a thing actually, up
Yeah.
until black people actually came into the area. So funny thing, like there's been articles written about the rejuvenation of Bryanston as a young trendy area,
Is
because
it?
it was never that. It was always
old money.
It was old money. We're retiring. That's like our last house type thing. It was never a trendy area at all. So like the fact that like house parties and stuff started happening in Bryanston was like a weird thing when it started.
Show them white folks mad.
mad.
Big Mama's house.
Even, yeah, bruh. Because even Midland, when it developed, Midland in the famunyana, wabo.
Yeah.
Was not this. Actually, problem when I was mentioning waterfall, problem starts once you do a development for these first-time homeowners. Wabale flat.
Yeah.
Midland started off as like very plotty, very farmy, wabo. Very farmy. Wabo.
Equestrian.
It's about development.
But neither of those are cultural hubs, though.
Yeah, no, I was just mentioning that the whole thing,
Yeah.
a place
Yeah. I'm saying
I'm saying
degenerating.
even waterfall.
Yeah, but waterfall is becoming it. It's gonna.
got enough development.
It's starting to go
become
there.
that.
Yeah, it's not enough to be.
Yeah.
But
Not-
what
not
is it now?
yet. It's, I think, what they'd say is like a cosmopolitan area more
mixed
than
No,
used.
but I'm saying, where's the cultural hub now?
Yeah, that's the thing I'm asking. Because Rosebank is no longer.
Waterfall Corner.
Kyo, nigga,
Oh,
cho.
you're saying like where's in Joburg generally?
Yeah, the hub
Yeah.
of create.
Definitely
Culture hub.
Rosebank.
Still
Definitely Rosebank. Rosebank, I think, stretching more into like the park areas as well. So like
Nah,
your
'cause
Parkhurst
bruh-
and whatever.
Parkhurst, yeah.
But like that whole
Parkhurst,
thing.
yes.
I'm with that.
Yeah.
man.
But it's still
That
Rosebank.
area.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's still that
Yeah.
particular part.
Although Parkhurst different difference between Parkhurst and Rosebank. When I'm saying hub, I was talking like from creatives. I was talking like new trendy spots like Boshesha. When Shesha was still at the Rosebank,
Yeah.
then there was a club part. Then there was offices. Parkhurst has always been a culinary destination.
But I wouldn't put what you've just described in waterfall.
Yeah, I'd still put it in Rosebank.
I think it's still coming. Because you see now the open polls opposite
Yeah, but
the.
then that's a different conversation now.
Yeah,
We're
but
talking
like
coming.
right now, it's definitely
Where is
Rosebank
it
because
now?
Rosebank still has all the art galleries. Rosebank has absolutely everything.
And is it
Like,
still
whenever-
popping?
I mean, First Thursday
Well, 8 Mile.
took a hit
I remember, yeah.
during
that
COVID.
8 Mile, King
But-
at Mile Street.
Yeah, the art mile still.
beautiful.
The
It's a
art mile
first
still
one.
happens.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like it's dead. It's just
Bumable and stuff.
the First Thursdays thing just took a hit during COVID.
They no
But
longer have
never
it, ne?
No, it still happens.
Still happens.
Yeah, it's just not as
As big as it used to be, ne?
yeah.
What still happens?
There's a thing called First Thursdays.
Thursday.
Still have the
The
wine
first
thing.
Thursday of the month, all the art galleries are open for everyone to come in. So like it's an art mile. So you can go into there. All the restaurants are open, but there's no other. Place
I would
that,
say
like, has all of
Braamfontein?
that.
That's for the
Bram is
kids.
student center,
Bram,
man.
Bram,
Students.
Bram will always be Bram.
No
though.
matter how great
Yeah.
and trendy it
Yeah,
will be,
Inale,
it'll always be
Too much
for
leaning
Yeah,
on the
it's
student
for
markets.
For the kids,
You see
yeah.
what you're saying, Brahm will always be Brahm. It gives the impression that Brahm has always been Brahm.
And it wasn't.
And it wasn't.
It wasn't.
But like it's been Bram.
It wasn't.
For,
Like I'm,
good amount of
I'm
time.
salty that Brahm became Brahm
What it became
I
after
left.
you all left. After you all left. Because before it used to be like just a student thing, ne?
Yeah, yeah.
Until
Why
then you
can't
started
you
having
cook
nice restaurants.
Yeah.
You started having like celebs now living there. I mean,
Yeah.
Kofi had an apartment there. I think he was public about it.
Sokola
Yeah.
has an apartment
Yeah,
there.
your
yeah.
Liberty was still there, like the big corporate.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola was not too far from it.
Yeah.
It started having like these iconic kind of, then there was landlords.
Yeah.
Then the Mandela Bridge also added that kind of ambience to it.
My matric dance was at Landlords.
Yeah, wabo. So Braamfontein also did have that kind of.
No, I'm thinking because I think my youngest siblings thing was also like the after party was also at Landlords. It was like a
Yeah,
big thing
yeah,
a couple
after
years
party.
ago.
Club
yeah.
Inc. was there. It started there. Club Inc. started in Bram.
Club Inc. was during a time when Brahm wasn't Brahm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then there was like the
Like
where Ramesh
basement
used to have this
era.
iconic gig.
Man, we had like tavern in Grenada.
Yeah, really tavern. Saloon by day, tavern by night.
But this is what I love about I think the queer community because they actually like Bram is what Bram is right now because of them.
Yeah, they
honestly
cultural.
speaking.
They're
drive
actually
culture.
the leaders
are
of-
They're the leaders,
culture
yeah.
in Bram, like 100%.
And-
Because I still go to Bram a lot, but like a lot of the events that I'll go there are like queer events.
Yeah.
So no straights allowed. Sorry.
More Constitution here.
Not y'all, but yeah, it's a fun time. Like
Who
I
said
was
we are not
there
queer?
2 weeks ago.
I've never come around this pot saying I'm straight. Why are you assuming? Why are you assuming
I'm
my
not
gender?
assuming. I know your gender.
Because you are married to a woman.
You are married to a woman.
There are a lot of gay
There's
people that are
absolutely-
married, bro. You want me to
Yes.
name them?
And let's not get into what a woman is.
So let's not do that. But like, yeah, the queer community is like genuinely what
Yeah, they
keeps
drive.
Bram.
Yeah.
And is what made Bram Bram. 100%.
And the fashion forward kids.
Oh,
the fashion forward kids.
100%.
Yeah, they also
did
drive
the
fashion.
most.
Yeah, but
yeah.
it's still the queer kids.
Yeah.
Trust me, it's
Yeah.
the same people.
But even like if you think about it, the OK Malum Cool Cats, Ricky Rick era,
The Boys and Park.
era, there was a Bram thing.
Yeah, with
There
the
was-
sneaker
there was Bram
culture and yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you know that UJ still has like the best art program in the entire country, better than UCT.
Yeah.
Like outside of like like genuinely.
They are
outside
hardcore
of
academics.
Outside of you, like UJ has the best one. So like a lot of those kids are still the same people that are pushing.
Yeah.
Like when you look at Karabo, Poppy's art and whatever in Bram, same people. It's the queer community.
Yeah.
100%. It's literally all them. Even Great Dane being like a spot as it was for like that amount of time was because of the queer community.
Because of them,
Yeah.
Bruh, I just get more pissed off.
that you missed an era.
Bruh, Great Dane was not. There wasn't Great Dane.
There wasn't. Yeah.
Great Dane. No, Great Dane was. You know what First 15 is? What
Yes,
First
yes,
Brewery
yes,
is?
yes.
Great Dane was there.
Yes. Right in town, Newtown.
In
Newtown.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
what Kitchener's is today was some obscure old people going bar.
But there's nothing stopping you from going.
Bruh,
You've missed an era, bro.
there was nothing, bro. We had Veers, we had Gringos.
Shit, nigga. They're naming things I've never heard of,
Yeah,
bro.
Veers,
The
Gringos.
Catamelos era, right?
Then we had where the Spur is now.
Yeah.
Used to be a drinking spot. It was
Yeah.
a restaurant during the day.
Spot by night.
Yeah, kind of but I forgot what it was called. But there was a
Moonlight.
spot there. What else did we have? And then there was like these taverns singing.
Yeah, because around then, that's when Melville still had that thing
Melville
with
was the-
YFM.
was the spot.
Was the sport, like Butandos and them. Yeah.
Melville was.
Leon,
the spot.
it was a queer community.
But back
it was
then,
still
bruh.
Yeah.
queer community,
That drove that.
but insane. And then I think with Melville, it's the crime. It's not like the place is dead. Like it has amazing comedy nights.
And it's still buzzing a lot.
It's still
buzzing.
buzzing. It's still buzzing. The
I
Plug is
miss
like a dope
the
place.
the best Melville era is Cat's Pajamas era. That's the best
I don't
Melville
know.
era.
I don't know.
I don't know.
That's the best Melville era. 24 hours with no boots in fact.
When you niggas were eating dry chicken at
Yeah,
Fontana.
yeah, at Fontana, yeah. Opposite there.
Nah,
yeah.
fuck that era.
Yeah.
And I was there for it too, so fuck it. Nah.
That was the era.
Back when
Nah.
like Stones was like the spot.
The Stones and
first,
stuff.
And then you'd go.
You
to,
know?
I
like,
remember Cat's
after.
Pajamas.
Yeah, Cat's
Baba
Pajamas was
Gaya
dope.
ki maberetera.
Then there was Cool Runnings with Cool
Cool
Runnings.
Runnings.
Cool Running was dope.
Nah, you're making me feel old, dog.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Jabba used to have
old,
like
you.
a residency there where you was doing
I remember
his shows.
Cool
It
Runnings. I
was
saw
nice.
Kuli Chana perform.
Yeah,
for
it was
the first time
nice,
at Cool
yeah.
Runnings.
Yeah.
And then there was that street.
Yeah, because when
Was it 6th Avenue?
No, it's Seventh.
Seventh,
It's
seventh.
still
Yeah.
Seventh.
And then
to this day.
Transkei was on there.
Yeah.
Boys and Bags had that sneaker shop. Bofesh and them.
At
Yeah.
the corner.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
corner there. Like, yeah, that was peak.
What
for
a
me.
time to be alive, man. What a time to
But
be alive.
Rikwete hunted about the hijacking buildings.
Yeah.
The president went out. ne?
Rest in peace to all the people that lost their lives.
Yeah, rest
there.
in peace. Sometimes we
RIP,
forget the
man.
human
And
life.
condolences to the families.
Yeah,
I think that's like the
and
saddest
we'd like
thing.
finding them.
Yeah.
Because like there was like a lot of kids that were like there looking for their parents
That's
and whatever.
not even an
and-
environment to raise kids, bro.
But what do you want people to do?
I know.
You know, it's one
I
of
want to
those
speak on the
things.
NGO thing though.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw that was coming up.
Albeit ill-informed on my part. Because people were saying that the government has been trying to get these people out of these buildings, but the NGOs are always going to get court orders to block their evictions.
Okay.
Now you
Yes.
have counter arguments that are saying that actually the NGOs have been trying to lobby government to find suitable housing for these people
Okay.
when they do want to evict them, because the government would allegedly try to enforce these evictions without
Evictions?
having made provisions to where these people are supposed to be going.
Yeah.
And those are the clashing ideas that are happening on the tier right now.
Yeah.
The NGOs haven't said a thing, but the government is here saying we've been trying, but the NGOs are saying no.
But I can believe
Which
both
NGOs?
sides.
Yeah.
100%. I can believe. It's like one of those things that. Okay, have you guys ever seen red ants people in housing?
No.
They do the
No,
opposite.
We've only ever seen them
The
put them
opposite,
out.
yeah.
So what proof do we have that like when they kick people out, they put them somewhere?
Yeah.
Have you guys
it's
ever
likely, it's highly likely that they
seen it? They don't.
don't.
Yeah.
It's highly likely that they don't. And so I do understand the stepping in of the NGOs of saying that human life should be preserved above all else. So if they have nowhere else to go, what do you want to happen? We all don't want them in these buildings, but we can't just push them out into the streets. That helps nothing.
Yeah.
So how about we have a plan for where they should go? At the same time, those buildings should not be in use.
They're hazardous.
not like that.
hazardous.
They are hazardous, and that is probably it's one of those things where I think you even mentioned this last week, that when you were talking about bricks, when you said that everyone has their own end goal
Motives, yeah.
and their own motives, and so that's what we're seeing. It's like the different motives playing out, and so it seems like they're clashing, but at the end of the day there could be a resolution in the middle because they're not directly opposed to one another.
Yeah.
They're just opposed to one another in how they're being acted out currently.
Yeah.
Or you think the NGO's motives could be ulterior in a sense that putting out these people in the streets, they become a problem to us.
That's the thing.
You see what I'm saying? Like, then you are increasing,
Crime.
criminality on the
Yeah.
streets. So half a loaf is better than nothing for now, which is what could be their vested interest, rather than human life as they claim.
But that is human life.
Yeah.
They're saying, why, if this building is empty and it's going to stay empty and there's no plan for the building after we kick these people out, then what do you want to happen?
Yeah.
I think that's like what they
Yeah,
And I could be
and
wrong still.
our law requires the
Yeah.
government to provide housing.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's in the Constitution.
But when they speak, they don't mention that part.
Yeah.
They don't mention the responsibility that they have to provide adequate housing for these
Yeah.
people. They just mention all the parts where they were trying to get these people out and the NGOs were blocking.
Yes, but
And
at the end of the day,
And obviously, and of course, the courts will block it
Yeah.
because it's in contravention of the law
Yeah.
that they're supposed to be guided by as the state.
Yeah. Some of these laws, man, are just counterproductive.
I don't know. I feel like South Africa just has like a lack of imagination, just in general.
How do you mean?
In terms of solutions.
In terms of solutions, I feel like a lot of the time, and like I picked this up even last week, is how we look at everything as such a, we look at it with such a rear view mirror perspective versus a what could this mean for the future perspective.
Yeah, we're not forward looking.
We're not forward looking people because
I think it's tough to
would-
do that. It's
Yep.
tough to do that with old ass people in power. You know what I mean?
I think we don't look at things like that either. I don't think that we do. I think we try, but it is difficult with people in power also looking backwards. But a lot of the time when I hear the conversations, it's always about how human rights is an obstacle. And it's like, I don't know. I don't know if it's an obstacle. I just don't think we've ever looked at it as anything else but a loophole to something else.
To
Does
something
that make
else.
sense?
Yeah.
Like,
I hear you.
like at the end of the day, like Dubai is Dubai because criminally speaking, it is a place where a lot of bad things can happen. Like that's why it exists, and it's built on that. at
Yeah,
the end
it's
of-
built on that, yeah.
Literally built on that, right? When you watch like the gold thing,
The gold mafia thing.
the gold mafia thing, the reason why you think Dubai doesn't know what's happening, of course Dubai
course they
knows.
know.
they in on it. They built the city on
Yeah.
that. That's why it happened so quickly, because it became a meeting point for places for criminality to happen. It became
Yeah.
the gold exchange place, not by mistake.
Yep.
It was by design, because that's what they wanted in order to grow. I think a lot of the time the crime that happens in Africa happens where we are reactionary to it, and we don't look at it as a
How
way
we can
to
benefit from
grow
it.
as
Yeah.
a country
Yeah.
from it. Because at the end of the day, that's literally what every other country in the world has done.
Switzerland, the
Switzerland,
Bermudas,
like,
Panamas.
There isn't a single country that did not benefit from some criminality. The US benefited from slavery. Like as a country, they benefited from slavery. Like all these things, like the
UK from
plundering
colonialism.
the plundering of resources actually helped them. And I think how we look at the things that could be a blunder, we don't look at them as to how they could grow the country.
Yeah, and benefit us.
And benefit the whole country
Yeah.
as a whole.
I
I don't think
think-
we've even had that conversation.
I think it's the retrospective thing that you're mentioning, and I spoke on it on the TL I think yesterday, that a lot of our laws that we have today, how our constitution is enshrined, it's retrospectively reformative.
Yeah.
To say that never shall we
Yeah.
go through what
What we
we
went
went
through.
there, because our property laws are an impediment.
Yeah.
They are impediment. Like they're not what they're supposed to be.
100%.
But they are what they are because we're trying to avoid
What happened.
what
History.
happened to
History.
black. Yeah.
We are correcting history.
But in the absence of that, our laws could have looked totally different
For sure.
I
if we
agree
didn't
with
have
you.
the trauma that we had dropped in the laws.
For sure.
All I'm saying is Germany had to pay back a lot of money post World War II, and Germany still survived.
Yeah.
And we have to look at why they survived, even after still to this day dishing out billions and billions and apologizing for what they did, and they still apologizing, and they laws are also retrospective. But what did they do that was different in order for them to grow from that point? I think with Rwanda, I can point out the fact that they are looting Congo, and that's why they grew, right?
Which is in support of what you were saying.
Which is what I'm saying, but I'm not supporting that. I'm
Yeah.
saying that what we need to look at is that the fact that there's these countries that are looking at certain things and criminality as a way to grow the country versus taking criminality that is inward facing. Our criminality is always inward facing. We are the people that suffer the most from the criminality that happens in
We are
this
so
country.
far down the value chain that we only get the scraps of it.
We don't get the scraps of it. We pay for it.
And
In
we pay
every
for it.
single particular part, we pay for it. I don't think, like, this is what I'm saying, that we have, and the thing is, the people who are in power, the people that are behind a lot of the criminality.
Yeah.
So they should be looking at how do we do criminality in a way that benefits the country versus what they're currently doing, which is killing the country.
It's like doing corruption that's focused on building industry, like Thabang always says.
100%.
You know,
100%.
If you're gonna award a tender outside of due process, at least make sure that whoever that's getting it is somebody who is taking forward.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
And it's sad because every other country seems to know this. Like, this is why, going into, I guess, the next topic, which is Amazamazama. Amazamazama are funded by their governments at the end of
Yes.
the day. We
Yes.
can try and pretend that that's not what's happening, but they
Yeah.
are, because that is where their economy is. And
Yeah.
so they are growing their economy with the criminality
Yeah.
that they are dishing out.
Yeah.
And we are on the receiving end of that.
I actually agree with you a lot. I agree with you in a sense, Ahore. You know, when you can't stop something from happening, there's things that we know you can never stop them. They either become black market versions of them. What at the very least you wanna do is control them.
Yeah.
You know, if you wanna be forward looking, like, okay, cool. I mean, if you go to Dubai, I will tell you there is prostitution in Dubai in an Islamically run country.
Yes, because
'Cause
that's
you know-
actually, but to be fair, it's actually governed
Yeah,
in law.
yeah,
Like,
it's
they
yeah.
they have an
Because
actual thing.
the illicit flows of money come from the people that when they come there, they still have to find these. But the thing is that it's not gonna be your public life,
Yeah.
right? But you know, or now whenever when you come here, everything is such a moralistic stance. You know, like everything's just right. Even if you look at these like new age churches, like where people just come in South Africa, it's so easy to just hustle people with faith. It's like you can't even control that. Like there's people who just bahlomete and tell it like, oh.
I don't know. I feel like that's more on our ignorance than our knowledge. I feel like South Africa, like I said, it has an identity crisis because we like to pretend we are a lot more moral, upstanding, and a lot more conservative than what we really are. And if we spent half the time actually accepting who we are as a country and leaning into it and deciding like how best to benefit from that,
Yeah.
than pretending that we're something that we're not,
Yeah.
then we would be in a different place.
Do you think we take a moral high ground
I think we do.
in Africa?
She was in South Africa.
No, I think in South Africa internally, we still do. I'm not comparing us to Africa.
Oh,
Nah,
I'm comparing.
Yeah, no.
Because
Compared
we
to
are
Africa.
way liberal.
But we are the most liberal country on the continent.
Yeah.
No ifs, ands, and buts about it, right? But internally, we're still fighting the fact that we are the most liberal country in Africa. And so because we spent all this time fighting the fact that we're the most liberal country in Africa versus leaning into that and seeing and being shameless about it.
Yeah.
'Cause
Owning
we're still
it.
apologizing for it for some reason.
Yeah, it's like we're
every
schizophrenic.
Every time there's like a thing about how it is and whatever. Now I'm like, listen, why are we not leaning into the fact that we're the most liberal country in Africa?
And you got beautiful women.
For tourism, how is that a bad thing? Like, why are we still pretending?
Yeah.
Like, why? Right? Like, Beyonce, for example, right now, she's doing her Renaissance tour, right? And it doesn't look like she's going to come to, like, a bunch of countries. And that's fine. But, like, before then, everyone was saying this album is so queer-based, it doesn't make sense for her to perform in Africa. Except in South Africa, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
And because we spend so much time apologizing for the fact that we're the most liberal country versus just saying, ayo, if you want to come see Beyonce, why are we not having black-owned, if that was a thing, right? If we were known as that place in Africa, we could have businesses that do tours for Africa, for specifically the Beyonce concert, for people around Africa to come and see Beyonce, because Beyonce is not coming anywhere else. Because
Definitely
there's no...
not go to Uganda.
She's definitely not going to Uganda.
She's not going to Uganda. She's not going to Ghana anyway.
But what you are saying is that
because even
we
now,
can get
Ghana,
Uganda people that have
here,
to suppress who they are to come here.
100%.
Yeah.
Where in their country it's illegal to be themselves. This is what I'm saying.
Even
saying,
take the best skills there and give them like some kind of a citizenship or whatever.
but as long as we are pretending that we are not the most liberal country and apologizing
you.
for it, we are cutting ourselves off from an entirely different market that we have not, it doesn't exist because it doesn't exist.
It's like,
and it's up to us to actually create it and to push it.
it's like I don't know if I was mentioning to Modise, like it's like if you take sex industry as an industry, where we know that the customers are still as bodaki, but there's like there's almost like a shame if you are a black person having a sex-led business.
Yes.
I'm not entirely mad at that.
No, I'm saying, but in generally, it's like nobody around our circles or like from the families we come from, like, can just openly say, this is my magazine, this is my platform.
I don't think you should be able to.
Why?
Because I feel like the cost of outward liberalism is just too high, man.
Yeah.
I like how how you guys describe the way that Dubai, it's still an Islamic state.
Yeah.
Right. It may be provided for in their laws, but you don't get to Dubai and that shit is in
your face.
It's all up in your face. I'm not saying like I think it's a fear of a lot of people is that if you go too outwardly liberal, you turn the country into a open market Sodom and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
But we don't know what that looks like. I feel like...
Well, you actually do because you see what America looks like.
America is not a liberal state.
America is fucking deprived as shit,
liberal.
bro.
It's not. It's actually more repressed than anything
I
else.
think
you have two parts that are fighting. But I don't think a country where women have to fly to another country to do an abortion is a liberal state. I don't think a country.
I wouldn't use queer laws.
It's not a queer law.
To define
what liberalism is. Yeah.
Things up that alley like abortion, homosexuality, as indicators for how liberal a country is.
Gonna have to edit a lot of stuff out of
we're keeping it. People must see that this is a hazardous work environment.
Isn't there like a free studio in like Bram or something
from a moral standpoint?
Yeah.
Right. A lot of countries that are viewed as totalitarian or dictatorships actually try to suppress media from America because of how they are, because of how depraved they are. So if you look at sex,
movies,
the sex industry in America, for example, look at OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I hear you, but at the same time, I feel like South Africa doesn't have that moral ground.
Doesn't have that?
I don't think it does have that moral
ground
already.
What do you mean?
I think our rape statistics are far too high for us to think that people here understand how consensual sex works. I think the fact that 10-year-olds are getting pregnant by the thousands speaks to, this is what I'm saying. I'm saying that speaks to what is actually happening on the ground. And so a lot of it is us pretending that this country is not as sick as it is. Because to take that is us saying that we don't have a problem. We have a problem. We have a GBV problem. We have a rape problem. We have a femicide
pregnancy
problem. We have, where children are being raped. Have you ever heard someone say, she accused me of rape, she falsely accused me of rape, and then hear the story of false accusation?
Yeah.
And it's not false accusation at all.
Yeah, I
it's
think, but
just not violent.
Yeah, but I don't think us acknowledging the problems that we have and making concerted efforts to curb those problems necessarily translates into us becoming more liberal than we are.
I hear you, but what I am simply saying is that the answers to all those questions are liberal answers at the end of the day. Regardless, I'm saying genuinely just those, right? People understanding what consent is a liberal conversation of sex education being done early and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
And not pretending that kids don't have sex.
It's a lot of pretending. This is what I'm saying. At the end of the day, the answers to those questions are liberal answers. I'm not saying let's go all out, hey, lawlessness and whatever.
Side.
Not at all. But I am saying at the end of the day, the answers to the sickness of South Africa is not pretending that this shit does not happen.
Yeah.
And this is what we are pretending. This is what we're doing.
Yeah,
we're
man.
Pretending that
sex industry must remain in the underworld, bro.
Sometimes,
I don't know.
Sometimes that's where the fun is.
Let that shit stay there.
We can argue about that, but like at the end of the day, all I'm saying is
let it stay there.
All I'm saying is, if we as a country can have 10,000 school kids being pregnant at the age of 10 to 14, then we need to understand that there is a problem.
Nah, we must be liberal.
And the problem is not whatever we think it is. It's the fact that we are repressed as a society, or that speaks to the repression of the society. And the answer to that, unfortunately, for everyone who doesn't like it, is liberalism.
It's liberal. Yeah, the company wellness program.
And this is what my company does.
Tlamehile ba fe motho voucher ya summit.
Can you fucking imagine, bro?
And I'm not saying that's for adults. I'm
Because you understand that there's niggas without Chris. Riz.
Niggas ain't got no riz.
At least you are guaranteed a month. You are guaranteed at least once a month.
And for me, how I see it is that like even sex workers should get to a point where they can say rights of admission is reserved, because some of these niggas are
start putting your prices on the bio too.
Nah.
And so this is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I'm saying South Africa has a unique opportunity, but because it's still trying to pretend to be one thing that it's not, or another thing that it's not.
Yeah, because we also like we have this religious bag that we get into a lot of times, and then this cultural bag that we get into a lot of times, that whenever we've got these cultural and religious beliefs that we don't live by.
We don't live by them.
Like somebody will fight you tooth and nail about I would say like maybe when people have arguments between Bosangoma and when they try to prove one over the other, like, oh, but you are still having sex before marriage yourself, so shut the fuck up. But when you're having an ideological debate, you argue from a model of high ground morally, but your life, you are actually not living like a Christian yourself. But like, which I get this schizophrenia that you're talking about, where like everybody based on paper is like South Africa is like a highly Christian society, but when you look at everything around you,
we're not.
We are so secular. It's like but it's so difficult for us to actually accept, even to denounce religion. That even with our knowledge of certain things, we are so married to this thing.
Yeah.
People still wanna be shy about consulting the Sangoma, for example, because we're still coming from that past where church was seen as, that's our brand.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I do hear what you're saying.
Yeah, I think a lot of the time South Africans fight the multi-identities that they have instead of embracing them
Embracing
and
them.
creating something
New out of them,
entirely.
ne?
And that's what I feel like should happen in this country. I don't know what that looks like. No, not in its entirety. I'm not saying everything must be blended. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying blend
America is a
everything.
mad place. I don't ever want to
Live in America.
I don't ever want us to become
To
that.
become
No,
American.
I'm not. And this is what I'm saying. I'm saying, but weirdly enough, I feel like the same place that we're stuck in right now is exactly the same place that America is stuck in right now, right? In the idea that like America is facing an identity crisis because America built itself on being the best,
Democratic.
and the best,
Yeah.
but it's not.
We know the
And
truth
it's
now,
not, yeah.
and it doesn't have anything to back that claim.
To back
up.
that claim.
And so
It's
now,
racist sell by
with
date.
everything being taken away from it, what does it do? And I don't know what that looks like. I don't know what a weak America or a frightened America
Yeah,
looks
that's why
like. Because it's still
nobody
a
would have
bully,
thought Trump would be a
right?
president.
A frightened America is very dangerous.
It's
That's
a
what
very
I'm
dangerous
saying.
yeah.
thing. So
Every
this is-
country needs to tool up.
Yeah, no, 100%, and
We
I
all
agree
need to
with
tool
you.
up, yeah.
But what I'm saying is that, like, the thing is, like, this is why in America, the thing is, the GDP is like what they worship is money. And the fact is now they are at a point where the money is going to be
Yeah,
affected.
the superpower
That's
thing
where
is being
they're about
challenged.
to be challenged, right? Because they did so much to not build the country outside of they built industries, but
And
industries,
capital, yeah.
but they made sure that industries worked outside of government so much that now it allowed them to lag behind on where everywhere else in the world things are. Like, look at the banking system. The reason why Venmo exists is because they have a trash banking system. The reason why all these other things that they're creating, but now they're not creating like world changes anymore. Like, they're not creating electricity anymore. They're creating a bank. They're creating EFTs and like trying to praise it as if it's like a
That's
world
the
first.
basic
Yeah.
thing,
We
yeah.
passed
Been
that
having
long
it.
ago, right? And so this is what I'm saying is that because of their identity and how this box that they built themselves into, and now it's turning into a prison, that's dangerous for the rest of the world.
The world, yeah.
But South Africa is going to find itself there as well because South Africa doesn't want to accept what it is. That's all I'm saying. And I'm not saying it must lean into it more or whatever. I'm just saying that we have an issue accepting it. At the end of the day. Every time you go into any single comment of what's happening in South Africa because South Africa has done something or whatever, it's always people crying for coups, crying for human rights to be taken away, crying
Yeah.
for all of that, and that's a problem.
Yeah, because I do
Because
agree.
we're not that.
I agree with you in the sense, Aure, with the gifts that we have as South Africa, in terms of natural resources, weather, like there's so much going for us. We've got all the tools in the box, but the guy working this vehicle does not know what he's doing, right?
Has no
and,
idea what
and
he's
yeah,
working
and like
with.
and like you are right, like he also does not want to work with what is in the tools, right? He looks at everybody in the world. Okay, if I change this, how will the world view me? You know, because that's not who I am. Or I look at where we come from, apartheid, and like, later maybe I don't want to go there. But all the tools you have are in here. But it's really not. It's
not
Yeah, it's
working.
like I think even if you look at to solve even like I've used this example before already. South Africa has got the most number of multinationals than any other country in Africa. That there is no way with that willingness you would still have load shedding problem, because the load shedding problem has become a political tool, right? It's been a political tool. The ANC government will not take decisions that favor the country. Even when you're using the example of corruption. Corruption in South Africa and certain industries, we are good at practicing corruption that's in self-interest.
Yes.
Right? And nobody's thinking about, okay, cool. Thabang was supposed to have been solved a long time ago. But it's when America and them started saying, oh, we are also embracing cannabis. Now you have to work for Big Brother because there could have long been an industry around Mutekwan. Khale. but we were waiting for somebody else to tell us.
It's the thing that because we're constantly reactionary, because
Yeah.
we don't have an identity.
Yeah.
And this is something all of you guys have touched on previously in the pod, to say, like, what is South Africa?
What is
Like,
this? What is a South
are
African?
are we a nation? Are we like, we don't know what we
Yeah.
are.
We're not a nation.
We're
Yeah,
not
we're not a nation. We're definitely not a
100%.
nation.
But I don't necessarily
We are,
think that
we are
that's
we are many nations.
we are
In-
many
in A.
nations, but I
In
don't
one.
think that we actually see that as a good thing.
Yeah,
and this
yeah,
is
yeah.
what I'm saying.
I think you are
Because
cooking.
Look at America. America is not a nation either. Every single great American discovery has not been from an American. It has been from an
100%.
An
It
immigrant,
is
no?
100%.
It's an immigrant nation. That's why
100%.
it's wild that Americans are
Yeah.
xenophobic.
Yeah.
Because there isn't a damn thing that they would have done if it wasn't for immigration.
Yeah.
Like, there is not electricity, not the atom bomb, not anything.
Not these technologies.
Nothing of that comes
Silicon
from them.
Valley.
Everything
Yeah.
from them comes from immigrant families who migrated to America. And the fact that they stopped embracing that is
Yeah.
exactly why they're in this.
For example, I mean, I
thing
think
right
you
now.
are cooking, because even if when I look at the position we occupy in Africa, for example, you look at how we there's xenophobic lens through which we look at a Nigerian problem.
100%.
Yet you go to America, Nigerians are pushing the envelope that benefits America, right? Because America was very choiceful about how they will treat Nigerians, right? When we come here, we are already talking about Tabatabuna at that.
Except when they're not being co-opted,
Yeah.
co-opted by Justice Malay
Yeah.
to fake.
You see what I'm saying?
Catch the rest of this episode on Patreon.
Dojo.